Hey guys, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be showing off Phainon. And before we begin today's video, I would love to know if you are personally going to be pulling for Phainon, or if you're potentially skipping him for someone else and for who. Lastly, if you enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. Today we'll be showing off a sustainless Phainon comp, which Phainon can actually nicely take advantage of sustainless, since when he does enter his territory, other characters won't be able to get attacked during this. But regardless, we're just going to get straight into it. With Tingyun, we are going to use her ultimate as well as use Kirby's ultimate, and we will be advancing for the team, and now we can just give some buffs here for Phainon. Now, what's really cool is Phainon has a trace that will actually allow him to get a point of Coreflame if an ally uses an energy regeneration effect on him. So when Tingyun and Sunday use their ultimates on Phainon, then he will actually get 2-stack Coreflame rather than only 1. And as you guys can see, we already have Phainon maxed out. We're just going to keep on using our abilities. Phainon's skill is going to be able to get him 2 stacks like so. And now this robot is going to summon the fish, and we are immediately going to use Phainon's ultimate. Now I can use his enhanced skill and deal massive damage. And as you guys can see, all of the other characters that we had on the field are now departed. So only Phainon is going to be the sole fighter here, but he will actually keep all of the buffs from our allies. And we could just do 2 basic attacks and actually kill these enemies here. So we're already on to the second wave. We are going to use his enhanced skill like so. And now we're just going to come in with a basic attack. So we're going to take a bit of damage here, but this is perfectly fine. Phainon is getting really close to exiting his territory here. So we are going to finish off with one more enhanced skill. Now he is going to do a finishing attack, which dealt a nice amount of damage. We did almost 800k right there. And now we are going to get hit here. But what's really nice is that Tingyun did get her ultimate. So we can use her ultimate. And now Tribby is going to come in with a follow-up attack. And boom. Now Tribby is going to be able to further advance Tingyun as well as Sunday. And we will actually be able to get us enough stacks here for Phainon to go right back into his ultimate, and we will be able to finish off this fight in a 0 cycle as well. And once we are done looking at this fight real quick, we can quickly go over the builds, and then I want to also go over some key things regarding this fight in particular I want to point out. And also right here, we have all the buffs, a bunch of buffs going on, and Phainon will be able to, of course, keep all of these buffs. And there we go, boom! We were able to clear that in a 0 cycle. Phainon being able to depart all allies, as I mentioned, is going to be very useful when it comes to being able to run a sustainless team and take advantage of all those buffs. And real quick, we're going to go over the character builds. Now, I have my supports, in this case Sunday and Tingyun. They are very fast due to the fact that I do want to be able to allow Phainon to use his ultimate very quick into the fight, just so we don't waste any action value. Phainon does have his signature, but for a free-to-play option, you can consider On the Fall of an Aeon, and he also is E0. As for Tingyun, here she is. She is a little bit slower than Sunday in this showcase. She's also running Dance Dance Dance, which is pretty important for this showcase, as she was able to provide that action advance. We also have her E6. And then for Tribby, here she is. Tribby's damage honestly doesn't really matter much in this showcase. What mainly matters is that she was able to assist us with Dance Dance Dance. She's also E0, and every character on this team is E0 except for Tingyun. Now, real quick, I want to go over some things to mention about the showcase, because I know that 0 cycle went by very fast. And I was trying to talk over a bit, but it still went pretty fast. So when we started off the fight, we of course were using Tingyun's ultimate on Phainon, and then we were also able to take advantage of Tribby's ultimate, which provided more action advance for the team. So I do have my Phainon on attack boots, And in the case of Sunday and Tingyun, I already mentioned that they are on the faster side of things. I want to quickly get Phainon Coreflame stacks, as I don't want to waste any action value, as if I waste too much action value within the 0 cycle here, he is not going to get many actions within this 0 cycle. So as I showed you guys, we're just going to use Tingyun's ultimate here. We get 2 stacks of Coreflame when we are using Tingyun's ultimate on Phainon, as he will be able to get an extra point of Coreflame if he is affected with an energy regeneration effect. So Sunday and Tingyun are going to help out tremendously with this, as they will quickly speed up the process of him getting closer to his ultimate. And now, of course, with Tribi, we could just basic attack. And once again, Tribi's personal damage doesn't really matter in this showcase. And as you guys can see, Phainon already has now 12 stacks. We are still going to use his skill though, and now we are able to use his ultimate. And I really wanted to ensure that if we take a look right here, Sunday is going to go before this robot. I really wanted to ensure that Sunday did go before this robot so that we don't end up getting hit, or even worse, potentially imprisoned with the robot enemy. And once again, these basic attacks were enough to kill these enemies here. The buffs from Tribi, Sunday, and then also Tingyun are highly amplifying Phainon's damage here. I'm actually going to make myself tiny right here just so you guys can see the stacks. But we have 6 out of 4 stacks of Scourge, which you are able to get Scourge through his basic attack, which will be 2 points of Scourge, which is the Q. And then for the W, it would be his other enhanced skill, which involves him doing a counter attack. Now, when he does that specific move, it is really useful if there are multiple enemies on the field, as he will be able to get points of Scourge to be able to use this big enhanced skill based on the number of enemies on the field. So as you guys can see, I have 6 out of 4 stacks here. And now when we use this enhanced skill, we're now at 2 out of 4, and boom. And ideally you want to use that enhanced skill once you have minimum 4 out of 4 stacks, as he will be able to deal more damage this way. So what I'm going to try to do now, I only have 2 actions left before I'm going to exit the territory here. So with Phainon, what I'm going to do is just basic attack, and boom, we're dealing a nice amount of damage to that robot right there. That robot's also almost dead, which is pretty beneficial here. And now with Phainon, I have 6 out of 4, so I am going to use his enhanced skill once again, deal a bunch of damage. So now in this case, Tingyun and Tribi almost have their ultimates. Of course, them getting hit in the first wave, which I believe it's specifically Tribi that needs to get hit at least once, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to get hit here. Really close with Tribi, just the follow-up will be enough. So now with Tingyun, we are going to be able to push everybody up and also get Phainon 2 stacks here. And now with Tribi, the follow-up, now we can push up Tingyun as well as Sunday. Plus them being very high speeds also does help out with this. With Tingyun, I have to basic attack here because if I don't, then we would run out of skill points. Sunday did get his ultimate here. This will line up very nicely for us to be able to get Phainon's ultimate once again. Boom. And now we can use his ultimate, re-enter our territory. And now we're already at 6 out of 4 stacks. And once again, here are all the buffs that we currently have. And every character, once again, is E0 in this showcase, except for Tingyun. And we, of course, since we have the 6 out of 4 points of Scourge, we're going to take advantage of that enhanced skill. This enhanced skill is one of Phainon's biggest sources of damage output. And once again, here are the builds, but there are alternative supports you can use with Phainon, especially if you do decide to go the sustainless route. Some options I would like to make a note of can be Ruan Mei. What's really nice about Ruan Mei on this type of team, especially for sustainless, Ruan Mei will provide you that delay when enemies are weakness broken. And what's really nice about this is when Phainon enters his territory, he will implant physical weakness onto all enemies, as you guys saw. Ruan Mei would actually be a nice option if you are worried about the survivability of your team. For example, if you exit Phainon's territory and you are concerned about the survivability of the team when it comes to trying to attempt to re-enter his ultimate and his territory. So because of that, you can use Ruan Mei. You can of course also consider a character like Cypher alongside Phainon. Cypher is going to nicely be able to record the damage that Phainon is dealing onto enemies. Cypher's vulnerability debuff will still apply onto enemies even when he is in his territory and all allies are departed. So that is something to keep in mind. She will also still be recording the damage he is dealing. So if you do end up exiting his territory, Cypher will have a bunch of coins stacked up. Of course, you can use alternative supports as well. You can consider a setup such as Sunday and Bronya. Bronya is going to be able to advance forward Phainon as well. And if you do decide to actually go the route of a sustain with Phainon, you could do this as well. This is one of Phainon's traces, which when receiving healing effects or shields from a teammate, increase damage dealt by 45% for 4 turns. So this is really nice when it comes to if you do want to use a sustain with Phainon, then you could do so and you will be able to take advantage of this damage boost right here, which of course will assist with his damage output. Overall though, Phainon is a pretty interesting character when it comes to his playstyle. I do think the whole thing regarding allies becoming departed is very interesting overall, and I'd really love to know just what you all think about Phainon so far. Do you all like Phainon as a character when it comes to his playstyle? Or are you kind of feeling whatever about his playstyle and are maybe looking more towards a different damage dealer, maybe in this case Saber or whatever it may be? I hope you all did enjoy this video though, and if you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.